I think it was 2 weeks ago. I think it was a Tuesday. And what I said was, hey, it must be Tuesday. Donald Trump's been indicted again. Remember when I said that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what?
It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. And Donald Trump's been indicted again.
So many more as well. It's so good. I saw a picture of Hillary Clinton on some talk show with the biggest smile I've ever seen. It's amazing. I'm surprised that she didn't start a chant of lock him up.
That's one of the funniest. One of the funniest things of his current campaign is him talking about the Department of Justice, and there is this that they're coming after him and they're coming after to put him in prison, and Biden's using his White House to try and put an opponent in prison, forgetting that he ran a whole campaign saying, when I'm made president, I will lock her up. So he's now complaining. He's got a false narrative going, complaining about something that he literally did 4 years earlier.
I think he was also having a go at one of the prosecutors, which is someone that he appointed.
Yeah, they're all people he appointed.
As being a political appointee. And it's like, yeah, yours. He's still coming after you.
JN says mugshot coming out from Georgia. Don't know about that, JN. He didn't have to. They didn't release his mugshot from New York. Did he? I think because there was conversations around that. So I don't know. It'd be fantastic. Imagine how many cups and T-shirts, and it'll be on the next day if a mugshot got released. Would be amazing. So look, here's what we're going to do to start the show off. Now, to be honest, and this is not me going, we're looking for clicks enough, because when we talk about American politics, our numbers tend to drop down. If you look at our video views and stuff, these get watched less than the New Zealand stuff we talk about, but it's still really interesting and it's still really important. So I do want to cover off on it. This is the announcement that was made today when the story broke.
Good evening. We're coming on the air with breaking news out of Georgia, where former President Trump was just indicted for the fourth time, this time for his alleged efforts to overturn Georgia's 2020 election results. Let's go straight to Blaine Alexander outside the courthouse. Blaine, what do we know about the indictment?
Well, Lester, we are just now getting a look at this. This has just been published on the county court's website. But as you mentioned, we do know that former President Donald Trump is among the defendants. What's remarkable here, though, Lester, is that it is not just Donald Trump. There are a number of his allies that are also being charged in this indictment. Now, we're still digging through this and finding out more about what these charges entail and who all is being charged along with the former president.
Jared there yet?
We can certainly
not quite Jared, but Rudy's there.
A number that is
Rudy.
digits of defendants.
Boy,
so
my
this certainly
leaky
sets
boy.
it apart from the other legal challenges, Lester, that the former president is facing. This is an investigation that spanned more than 2 years and certainly is coming to a very notable peak right now, Lester.
All right, Blaine, thanks. With me is senior legal correspondent Laura Jarrett. Laura, walk us through what are the names you're seeing there suggest to you about where this goes?
All right, Lester, we've got 41 counts here. We have the former president of the United States, Donald Trump, as well as several of his allies, including his attorneys, Giuliani, Eastman, Cheeseborough, Clark, Ellis. Also, we have at least one fake elector that I've seen here. We have David Schaefer. We also have Ray Stallings, another attorney, as well as several other allies here, Lester, as we still work through this. And all will be arraigned at a date that we'll learn in due time. That concludes our special.
There you go. So that was the breaking report. What I thought I might do, Joe, you tell me if you want me to do this. I'm happy to move on to some other things as well, but I've got a copy of the phone call they're talking about. Now, all of us have heard the little clip where he says, I just need to find 11,000 whatever it is votes. But the actual phone call is quite interesting in and of itself. They actually argue with him on the phone that the election was fair, and he goes, no, it wasn't. It wasn't fair at all. Have you heard the full phone call? I think it might be interesting to play the full phone call.
No, I haven't.
Okay, let's have a listen, eh? Because if you want to know why he's being charged, right? If people want to figure out, and we like to give all the information out, not just the little snippets, right? This is the full phone call that they're talking about, not just the snippet talking about the 11,000 votes, but this is the phone call where they were talking about needing to find votes in its entirety. It's about 4 minutes.
We have won this election in Georgia based on all of this. And there's nothing wrong with saying that, Brad. You know, I mean, having having a correct.
There's nothing wrong in saying that. Something wrong with trying to change it.
And these numbers are going to be repeated on Monday night, along with others that we're going to have by that time, which are much more substantial even. And the people of Georgia are angry. The people of the country are angry. And there's nothing wrong with saying that, that you've recalculated.
Well, Mr. President, the challenge that you have is the data you have is wrong.
Now, do you think it's possible that they shredded ballots in Fulton County? Because that's what the rumor is. And also that Dominion took out machines. That Dominion is really moving fast to get rid of their machinery. Do you know anything about that? Because that's illegal.
No, Ryan, Germany. No, Dominion has not moved any machinery out of Fulton County. We're having.
Well, but have they moved? Have they moved the inner parts of the machines and replaced them with other parts?
No.
You sure, Ryan?
I'm sure.
You should want to have an accurate election. And you're a Republican.
We believe that we do have an accurate election.
No, I know you don't. No, you don't. You don't have. Not even close. You're off by hundreds of thousands of votes.
What?
You know what they did, and you're not reporting it. That's a criminal offense.
Projection,
and you can't let that happen. That's a big risk to you and to Ryan, your lawyer. That's a big risk. But they are shredding ballots, in my opinion, based on what I've heard, and they are removing machinery, and they're moving it as fast as they can, both of which are criminal fines, and you can't let it happen, and you are letting it happen. I'm notifying you that you're letting it happen. So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes.
How oddly
which
specific.
is one more than we have, because we won the state. So tell me, Brad, what are we going to do? We won the election, and it's not fair to take it away from us like this. And it's going to be very costly in many ways. And I think you have to say that you're going to re-examine it, and you can re-examine it, but re-examine it with people that want to find answers, not people that don't want to find
My
answers.
people.
For instance, I'm hearing Ryan, and he's probably, I'm sure, a great lawyer and everything, but he's making statements about those ballots that he doesn't know. But he's making them with such, he did make them with surety, but now I think he's less sure because the answer is they all went to Biden. And that alone wins us the election by a lot. So.
Mr. President, you have people that submit information, and we have our people that submit information, and then it comes before the court, and the court then has to make a determination. We have to stand by our numbers. We believe our numbers are right.
Well, under law, you're not allowed to give faulty election results, okay? You're not allowed to do that, and that's what you've done. This is a faulty election result. And honestly, this should go very fast. You should meet tomorrow because you have a big election coming up, and because of what you've done to the president, the people of Georgia know that this was a scam. And because of what you've done to the president, a lot of people aren't going out to vote. And a lot of Republicans are going to vote negative because they hate what you did to the president, okay? They hate it. And they're going to vote. And if you would be respected, if this thing could be straightened out before the election. You have a big election coming up on Tuesday.
So I misspoke as well. I said it was a full transcript. The full transcript is actually over an hour, and it is on the internet if you want to hear it. That was the extended highlights is what I meant to say. I got my Trump troll dialed out just to go through that. I just thought that people might want to hear some more of what they're talking about rather than just the little tiny snippets that we're hearing. So that's what it's about. I mean, I'm pretty sure when he was saying there's a election coming up, he was talking about the elected official he was talking to, his election. So he's basically threatening him to say, well, I will say it in a legal sense. It appears that, my honest held belief is that, not that Trump can get to us, but that he's saying to him, I'm going to work against you, or you're not going to get elected unless you sort my shit out. It's just, I don't know how they can spin this, but it just looks so damn. I also am fascinated by the mindset of Trumpian supporters, that what they can do when they hear that. Like I'm fascinated. There's so many good journalists out there at the moment who are going along, and mostly they're doing it in almost a comedic way because it's so silly, going along to various Trump rallies and stuff and just asking simple questions. Like they did it last election round, well, 2 election rounds ago, when they were talking about Make America Great Again, and they were like, well, when was that? And they go the 60s, and they go, oh, like during segregation. And now 1776, oh, like when there was slavery. And they make them look so foolish and so shallow, so easily.
We've talked about this before, right? It's when you get into the real nitty gritty of these people, they don't care about facts. It's their whole personality has become Trump, and so it doesn't matter. They're not diving into the facts. They're not looking for something to prove them wrong. They're looking for something to prove them right. So.
Yeah, it's motivated cognition.
I don't think we're dealing with the brain trust here when you go up and interview someone at a Trump rally.
We've talked about this before. That's it's called motivated cognition, which is where you already have a predetermined outcome decided, and you just find your own way there. So if your predetermined outcome is, Trump has the election stolen, and someone puts evidence in front of you that negates that, you just find a different path to get to exactly the same result. So yeah. It's pretty much what it is. Yeah, I think that's right.
Absolutely. It's cult-like behavior.